Good morning, students. In our last class, we studied the poem A Tiger in the Zoo, written by Leslie Norris. And we have already read the introduction of the poem. In the poem, poet is telling about a tiger, that how he is in the cage and how he feel in the forest. So today we will read the explanation of the poem. Let's start. He stalks in his wide strips, the few steps of his cage, on pads of velvet quiet, in his quiet rage. Hard words, stalks means follows, wide means bright colored, pads means paws of tiger, and rage means anger. So here the poet says that the tiger that is confined in the zoo moves around the cage under his bright colored skin. He further says that the tiger can take only a few steps because the cage is small and it is not easy to move in it. One cannot hear his footsteps because he has very soft feet like velvet, because of which there is no sound of the tiger's footsteps. The tiger tries to control his anger by quietly walking in the limited area of his cage. He is angry because he is not free. So here the poet is saying that the tiger is confined in the zoo and is moving in the cage only. His skin's color is very bright and he is little angry because he is not free. Now let's discuss the literary device. Rhyming scheme is ABCB. Personification is there. The tiger is personified because the poet refers him as he. Metaphor. Tiger's paws are compared with the velvet because they are very soft. Enjambment. Sentence is continuing to next line without any punctuation marks. Imagery. Poet tries to create an image about the tiger. That's he's walking, he's in the cage. Consonance, use of S sound, stalks, his, strips. Assonance, use of vowel sound, I, in, his, wide strips. Oxymoron, use of adjectives, opposites in meaning, quite rage. Now the next stanza. He should be lurking in shadow, sliding through long grass, near the water hole, where plump deer pass. Here, lurking means to be hidden as to wait for your prey. The poet says that if the tiger was free, he would have hid himself behind the long grass near the water bodies so that he can easily catch a deer in order to have its food. Basically, the poet wants to say that the actual life of a tiger is to live in a jungle where he could catch his prey and eat it, but the tiger is in the cage, so he cannot do so. So now here poet is telling if the tiger is free, then he would be hiding himself in the long grasses, behind the long grasses, and he will be waiting for his prey. But now he cannot do like this because he is not free. Literary device. Rhyming scheme is ABCB. Grass pass. Enjambment. Line continues to next line without punctuations mark. Alliteration. Use of sound P at the start of two words. Plum pass. Imagery. The poet has tries to create an image of tiger's activities. Now the next stanza. He should be snarling around houses at the jungle's edge, baring his white fangs, his claws, terrorizing the village. Here, snarling means warning sounds made by an animal, baring means uncovered, and fangs means sharp tooth of animals. So, The poet here wants to say that if the tiger would have been free, he would have snarled. Means he will be giving the warning to the villagers and the people who are living near the forest around the houses located at the outskirts of the forest. So you have understood? He would terrorize the people with his sharp tooth and claws. So he will make people feared, frightened because of his sharp tooth and claws. This would create fear among the people living in the village. So you have understood very well. Now let's discuss about the literary device. Rhyme. Scheme is ABCB rhyme. Scheme is followed edge village. Enjambment, again, line continues to next line without punctuation mark. He should be snarling around houses at the jungle's edge. Onomatopoeia, using words which denote sound snarling. Assonance, use of vowel sound O and I. Consonance, use of consonant sound S. Now the next stanza. But he is locked in a concrete cell, his strength behind bars, stalking the length of his cage, ignoring the visitors. So concrete means building made of brick, cement and sand and water. Here now the poet comes to the reality of the tiger. So here what the poet was telling, only that was I imagine that if the tiger would have been free. But its reality is this, that tiger is not free, he is inside the cage. He says that the tiger is confined in a strong cell which is made of a strong building materials. He further says that as the tiger is behind bars, so his furiousness is also behind the bars. He just stalks in the cage. He never tries to terrorize the visitors because he has no power. His power is restricted by the cage. Therefore, he never tries to terrorize the visitor as he cannot attack them and he always ignores the visitors. Literary device. Rhyming scheme is ABCB. Personification. The tiger is personified because the poet is using he. Assonance, use of vowel sound E. Consonance, use of consonant sound S. Alliteration, use of sound B at the start of two words. He hears the last voice at night, the petroleum cars, and stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. Patrolling means to guard, to whistle. The poet says that in the night the tiger hears sound of patrolling cars. Patrolling cars are the vehicles of police which are used to guard at night. So in the night the tiger hears the sounds of these cars. He then stares at the shining stars with his shining eyes. The poet wants to say the tiger is sad, and as he is confined in the cage, so he cannot do anything. Therefore he stares at the stars in the night and tries to divert his thoughts towards them. So as we know all that freedom is lovable for everyone. Nobody wants to leave his freedom. So tiger is also very sad here because he is confined in the cage by the human beings and he is diverting his thoughts towards them. He is seeing the stars in the sky at the night. Literary device. Rhyming scheme ABCB. Scheme is followed. Enjambment, line 3 continues to line 4 without any punctuation mark. So when there is no punctuation mark, then it is used enjambment. It is a literary device. Alliteration, use of sound H in the starting of two words. Assonance, use of I sound with his and brilliant. So the explanation of poem I thought you would have understood, and we have discussed about the literary devices also. So we will meet in our next class again. Till then, have a good day and thank you.